So we're going to put our feet together and our knees together, and we're going to take our feet out into our nice wide Pilates stance. So I say wide, it's hip width apart. And before we do anything else, I want you to curl your toes up so you can feel the balls of your feet on the floor, and then place, if you can, one toe at a time, starting with your big toe, then your second toe, all the way across so you can feel all the toes on the floor. Now, sometimes, I've said this before, if you stretch your fingers out, you can really feel the toes spreading out as well. And I want you to press to the outside of your feet so there's no caving in. So there's a real lovely strength down through your legs. Tuck your tailbone under, draw the abs in, roll the shoulders up to your ears, draw them back together. Feel your shoulder blades glide down your back as if you're trying to pop them into the back of an imaginary pair of jeans. And keep those abdominals drawn in, chin parallel with the floor. We're going to start by just getting into our shoulders. So we're going to take our arms out to the side and make sure your hands are going with your arms. Okay, so we're going to start just a small one where we're turning the arms in the shoulder blades. So you turn the palms around so you can feel the whole arm each side twist or turn in the joint. And then we bring it back. So there's no other movement through the body. You're drawing your abdominals in, keeping your hips nice and stable. And your chin remains parallel to the floor as you take the arms back. So you start feeling a little extension in the shoulders and upper back. And you take the arms forward. And then we're going to go even bigger. So keep those abs engaged so you're not moving from underneath the rib cage. And you take the arms over and back. And we just make it more and more exaggerated. We come over on that out breath and come back. Breathe out, breathe in, come back. And I'm hoping, reaching the fingertips each direction, you can really feel some engagement in the top of your arms and a warming up in the shoulder joints. So we do one more. And then this time I want you to bring the arms right over and then keeping the abdominals still, draw really back. So you're feeling the bend from underneath the shoulder blades up, really forward and back. Now, if either of you have been really stretched over your computers today, you hopefully will feel this, certainly as we go through a couple more times. Lovely. And then just shake the hands out. We'll come back to them in a little while. So we're going to do a roll down. I didn't mean to say to have the wall with you or near a wall, but we're going to do our first one by breathing in, chin to chest on the in breath, start rolling down on the out breath. Now, I really want you to envisage each vertebra as you roll down and creating space between each vertebra. And as you come down to the middle of the back, draw your abdominals into your spine, keep rolling down, arms and head hanging heavy as you roll down. Make sure you're not curling up those toes, that they're lovely and flat on the floor. And when you come down as far as you can, breathe in, draw the abdominals into the spine and roll back up. Now, we talked about building that mind-body connection. So visualize each vertebra stacking one on top of the other, all the way up through your back. And as you come to the top, draw your shoulder blades back and down. And we go again. Breathe in, chin to chest. Breathe out. Come down one vertebra at a time. Noticing where, when you come down, I want you to notice if you can feel any part of your back coming down in sections. Draw the abdominals in to really get the curvature in your lower back as you roll right down. And this time as you come down, make sure you're not locking out in the knees, but feel as you hang the whole upper torso hanging down, a bit of a deeper stretch up in your hamstrings. Taking a few more breaths there. Draw the abdominals in on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, keep rolling back up through the spine. Really picturing areas that are coming back up in sections or where you're really stacking really, really beautifully. Now, if it's easy for you, when you come up, if I don't get to see you, don't worry. I want you to now get some feedback. I know you've been practicing these all summer. So you want to put the back two hip bones level on the wall. You want to feel your shoulder blades level on the wall and the back of your head. Now your feet are about hip width apart. You're not going to have your back of your heels right against the wall. They're away by about an inch or two. Okay, and then this time I want you to feel the shoulder blades, so your hands are a little bit more closer to the wall. Breathe in, take the chin to the chest. This time roll down, but you're taking one vertebra at a time off the wall. You will find you will probably go a little bit slower, and you will be more aware this time of where you may be coming away from the wall in little sections, where maybe when you were rolling down in midair, you felt you were coming down one vertebra at a time. Keep the abdominals drawn in and roll down through the spine. Now, we'll also note, I've asked you to stand just a little bit further away from the wall, because if we're too close, we also note we don't roll down directly vertically. So you'll feel your bottom probably in contact with the wall. Breathe in when you're down there, draw the abdominals into the spine, press in as you roll up your butt, then the back of the hips into the wall first, carrying on with your head and arms hanging heavy. Press and then really try and get the spine one vertebra at a time up the wall. Now, we're not going to do too many of those there, but that should really give you an indication of how mobile your spine is feeling. If you came away in sections, or you feel that you had a lot more feedback, as we do when we're on the floor, I'd really urge you to practice that, and or maybe do the wall again in about 2 months' time, and just see if you notice a change in your spinal stability and mobility. We're going to take our ball now, and we're going to get back more into our upper back and into our torso. So first off, I wanted to bring the ball. I'm going to draw the arms. I'm going to draw the shoulder blades together. Bring the ball up in front of your chest. We're going to do some rotations. Draw the belly button to the spine on your in-breath. Breathe out. I want you to just rotate. I want you to keep the ball in front of your sternum and aligned with your chin. Really great. Again, a bit like the wall for our backs. Really great feedback to see where we start getting our arms out of alignment with our spine, and go back round the other side. Really feel that rotation in your waist and come back to the front. Couple more times each side. We'll be doing a few more rotations. It's just, I say this often, the spinal mobility on the roll down, I like us to keep nice and regular, but the rotational mobility is something we lose really quickly. It's one of the first areas of mobility we lose. So I don't know if you notice any difference this evening. We're now going to pop the ball on our heads, elbows out to the side, and we're going to go again. Make sure you're pressing out to the sides with your feet, abs drawn in, and we're going to rotate, this time with the ball on the head and back to the front. Really concentrating that that movement is just in your waist, that you're turning the whole of your torso and your head's coming along in alignment, keeping your chin aligned with your sternum. One more time on each side. I'm going to just stand here and just see how you get on. Watch those hips. You want to keep them like car headlights facing forward. Really nice. So hopefully you're feeling there are a little bit of arms and shoulders moving a little bit more than the torso, but just you get at least a nice shoulder stretch. That's fine. Really nice. We're going to take the ball now. We're going to pop it in between our legs. Draw the legs together. Squeeze on the ball. I want to see that ball quite misshapen. And we're going to do a roll down with the ball in between our legs. So you roll down, keep the squeeze. We're starting to get an inner thigh engagement. Keep your feet nice and flat, no curling the toes. And this time when you come up, we can take the arms above our head. You're going beautifully slow, well done. And up you come, and then back down. So when you come up, nice and slow, that's it. Pull it up onto the balls of your feet, nice and slow, and then back down. And one more, keep squeezing on the ball, rolling down through the back, nice and slowly. And go at your speed. You're going a really nice slow pace there. I was probably pushing the pace a little bit, but I really want you to really feel each of those vertebrae really spreading and opening, and then restacking as you come back up. And then really nice, up and down. We're going to challenge our balance a little bit here and do a rotation. We're going to pop the ball down. Now, you both know I've got dodgy ankles, so I've been doing a lot of this week to just really help my balance. I want you to pop your one foot on the ball, but I want you to try and keep your hips lovely and level, and keep the abs drawn in, work those butt cheeks a little bit as well. And we're going to take our arms out. Now really feel stable there. We got our weight going through the one leg. We're going to breathe in, and on the out breath, we're going to do bow and arrow. So we want to stay absolutely still from the waist down as we rotate, and then we come back, and then go again on the other side. So we're still, rather than doing lots of reps with our rotation with the ball in our hands, we're adding on with a bow and arrow and challenging our balance. Another one on each side. Try not to press down with your foot too hard on the ball. Keep your hip bones facing forwards. And over the other side. And back. Really nice. We're going to go over to the other foot. Now, this time you can add on. I'll go sideways on. This time you can just get a little bit more of a stretch. We're going to do another 4 bow and arrow. Okay, so when you're in your position, the weight really going nice and evenly through the legs, the hip bones facing forward, shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in on the out breath. This time we're going to bring that arm back. And when it's as back as far as you can, we're going to straighten that arm, reaching away in both directions, bending that arm back and back to the front, and then back over the other way, drawing the arm back, taking the arm behind, reaching in both directions. On the breath, so nice and slow, no rushed movements, no jerky movements. That lovely Pilates flow as you draw back and reach. You can turn your head to look at that hand behind you for a little bit more of a stretch through the neck this time. And then our last one. Draw back, look behind, stretch the arm behind you, bend and back. Really, really nice. Going to take the ball and put it back between our thighs. Really bring the legs in as narrow as you can, but still keeping that Pilates stance. I now want us to wake up the glutes a little bit, because we are going to do some glute work on the mats. And you know, if we've been sitting on our butts all day or haven't done glute work for a while, we want to get those neurons firing. So what I want you to do is to press on the outside of your feet, squeeze on that ball, and then we need to do a squeeze. And I should be able to see, if I come closer to the screen to show, when I'm squeezing, I can see, can you see? I can just see a little bit of movement going through the upper legs. So we need to squeeze your butt cheeks together, then relax. Squeeze your butt cheeks together, then relax. At the same time, you're got an engagement through your inner thighs on the ball, and then you squeeze your butt cheeks and relax. We're going to do that a few more times. Hopefully you're feeling some fire in there in your butt cheeks as we do a few more. So keep those abs drawn in, squeeze and release, squeeze and release. Let's do a couple more. And I think while we've got the ball here, we'll just go back into our shoulders. So draw on that ball, shoulder blades back. We're going to do some dumb waiters. So I want us to put our hands out to the side, keep the hands nice and level, and we take them out and back in. We're just going to do this a few times because I want you to concentrate on the abs being drawn in, the tailbone tucked under, and then the rotation really, really up in the shoulder blades, as you can feel the shoulder blades come together and back as you rotate through your shoulder joints. On the next one, I want you to take it out. I want you to lift and reach those hands away. And I want you to turn the palms to the floor and reach a bit further. You may get a bit of a nervy stretch. Keep squeezing on that ball. Turn back, elbows in, back in. We're going to do that a couple more times. So you reach out, rotating the shoulders, reach those fingertips out to the side, turn the palms to the floor, reach back up and back in. And then one more. Reach, turn, keep pressing those fingertips away in the opposite direction. Come back, elbows in, back to the front. Really, really nice. Now, if you're at the edge of your mat, then get ready to roll down towards the mat. Otherwise, if you need to just move around a bit and do a bit of jiggery pokery, then now's a good time to do that. So, going to warm up a little bit. It's still stretching through, but we are going to go into a little bit of conditioning work here as well. How are you both doing so far? You're feeling a little bit warming up or loosening up? So stretch on the ball. Totally decapitating myself there, that's okay. Okay, so I want you to squeeze on the ball, draw the abdominals in, breathe in, chin to chest, and roll down. Keep the squeeze on the ball. Roll down one vertebra at a time. So again, there's really nice spine roll downs this evening. And then I want you to slowly loosen in the knees, popping the hands on the floor. And we're going to walk our hands forward. So it's all just very gentle. Now, if this is something you haven't done for a while and your shoulders or abs or whatever bits in between are not wanting to play, you can just take the knees to the floor, keeping your toes curled. Otherwise, we're just going to stay in this hold for a little bit longer. If you want, you can do some shoulder taps. You don't have to. Just go with how you feel this evening. Drawing the abs into the spine, squeezing on the ball, staying beautifully strong through your shoulders. Couple more taps each shoulder if you're doing the taps. Knees onto the mat if you're doing knees onto the mat. Take a breath in on the out breath. We're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Bending the knees as we lift the hands a little off the floor. Straighten the legs. Abs to the spine as we roll back up. Keep squeezing on the ball. As we roll up through the back, shoulder blades drawn together. And we go down. And we're going to do that again. Chin to chest. Roll down. Nice and slowly. And as I said, if you prefer to do this without the ball, you can absolutely do that. And you can hold into plank from the knees. So soft knees, hands to the floor. Walk them forward into your plank. Hands, you want your hands ideally underneath the shoulder blades. squeezing on that ball, drawing the abdominals to your spine. And if you want to add on, you can do some taps. So again, all I'm doing is offering. I'll keep tapping if you want to tap, but otherwise you can go here with your knees, with your toes curled, in your plank, just in a hold, or you can tap each shoulder. So you're taking the weight from one arm to the other for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bend the knees, but not take them to the mat. Walk the hands in. So we're in our little knee hover. I know you haven't seen this for a while. You can take your knees to the mat at any point. We're just going to hold it here, draw the abs in, keep the shoulder blades together, and just breathe. Few more breaths. Take the knees to the floor. Take the hands out, press the palms into the floor. Take your bottom to the heels. Stretch through your arms. Few more stretches there. Okay, we're going to carry on with a little bit of work through the arms. Again, not too much, okay? But we're going to take the ball and pop it under the one hand. So I'll just go front on. So you've got the ball. It's something we've done before. We're not adding the leg on, okay? So I want your knees directly underneath your hips. I'll start on this side because the ball's closer to the camera. Your hands underneath your shoulders. Now this hand is obviously can't be straight because it's higher up. And we're going to come down into the box and into more of a box sort of press up. So you bring your knees towards the mat and you come up. Now, if it's feeling too odd or too much, one hand on the ball, you can park the ball and just come down in your box, okay? Otherwise, we are challenging our stability and admittedly putting more work through the one arm. But we take our chin to about the top level of the ball, abs drawn in as we come back up. As we do another 4 and 3 and 2. So the arms are, when they come down, they should be parallel. So we do our last one. Just getting ourselves again, just familiarizing ourselves with the ball. And as I said, because I've not worked with the ball for a while, these are all the exercises I've been doing to just really challenge where my balance is at the moment, where my strength is, and just getting used to my technique again with the ball. So the ball in the other hand this time, elbow down and up. Obviously this time, the workload going into more into the other arm, elbow down. Now we're going nice and slow, and it may look really simple, but I'm certainly feeling it anyway. So hopefully you feel it, but we will be doing a little bit more arms. So don't get too sad if this is feeling a little bit easier for you. So we do another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. So this time, again, you can do this without the ball. So let's just press on the ball first. Let's just stretch the arms as we go through, particularly if you haven't done a lot of arm work in a while. And then with or without the ball, now I'm using this slightly larger one that I use for bar. And this is quite a workout on the bigger ball. So I keep my feet, my toes curled under, folks, so that I can really keep my balance. So you're in your box, but then we're going to walk forward. Now, options are, you can do this press up without the ball. You can do the press up in box. So do what works for you this evening, but essentially we're going to come down and up. Again, elbows coming in towards the body as we come down and up for another 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Walk the hands back, come off the ball for safety, press the hands forward and press down. Now, we're going to do another set, but this time we're taking the hands wide. So when we have our hands narrower and the elbows go down and up, we're working mostly into our triceps. Now we're going to take the hands wider than our mats and we come down, so it's more of a shoulder press up. Okay, I'll show you without the ball. So our hands wider, and if you want to do a full press up, fill your boots. So we come down and up. Okay, so the hands are wider, the workload goes through the shoulders. So you can do it on the ball or without the ball. Please just go with what you feel you want to do this evening. So this time we walk out, hands just slightly wider than your mat, abs drawn in, shoulder blades down your back, breathe in, come down and out, come down on the in-breath, breathe out. Let's go. 4, another 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Walk back or come off the ball nice and safely. We're going to pop the ball in between our knees, in between our thighs, to just keep it close. We're going to go in though, however, into our cat-cow. So draw the abs to the spine, tuck your tailbone under, arch your spine up to the ceiling, really draw in. And as you get to the top of your back, press away from the mat with your hands, feeling the gap between your shoulder blades widen as your head comes down to look at your thighs. And then the other way, starting with the tailbone, abdominals come down to the mat, shoulder blades glide down your back, and the head comes up. We're going to do that another one in our own time, starting with our spine, curl it under, really arch through the spine, up to the ceiling, pressing away from the mat with your hands. Take a few breaths there, and then go the other way. And then come back into a neutral spine. We're going to take the ball and we're going to do a little bit of a work into our glutes. So not too much. So we've done our arms, we're going to do our glutes, and then a few other little jiggery pokery and abs. And that'll be a nice, hopefully, I don't want to lead the witness, a nice workout. So you can do this with the ball or without. Now I'm finding this one's really large, but I have been using it this week. Pop it in the crease of your one leg. Mine is in my left. And we're going to start. I want you to keep those hip bones really, really square with the mat. Stay really strong through the shoulders. In fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring our arms down. I did this one last night. Let's give this one a go this evening. So let's put our forearms in a diamond on the floor. Okay, draw the abs in, protect our lower back. Point the toe on whichever leg you've got your ball. And we're going to lift and lower. Going to lift and lower. And we're going to do 10. Okay, so we have another 7 and 6 and 5, 4. Squeeze that glute. Every time the leg goes back, give it a squeeze. Nice and slow. As we do another 3. Don't forget, when you bring that knee up, take it right into that glute. And when you're up this time, I want you to flex the foot and I want us to pulse and pulse for another 10 and 8 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring the leg down. Take a little look at the screen. I want you with the opposite arm that you've got the ball in. So it's my right hand. We're going to face that palm forward. We're going to come over onto our knees and the hand on our hip. And we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. So we draw up from the underside. So we've got a little bit of work going on there in our obliques as we go into our abductors as well. For another 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and do a little pulse there. Why not? Be rude not to. You can flex your foot if it's more comfortable. For another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to our starting position. Now I could tell you love that, so we're going to do that another one time. I promise you that after we've done this glute work, we will do some really nice hip stretches. So you can point your toe again as we lift and lower, hopefully this time really feeling that work into your glute as you draw your leg up, squeezing on that ball, staying beautifully still through your torso and through your shoulders as you lift and lower, giving your glutes some love this evening. Let's do another 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Flex the foot and pulse. Abs drawn in. Keep breathing. For another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee to the floor. Safely point that arm, and then we can rotate nice and beautifully and go into our little side kick from this really nice position where we're putting a little bit of workload through the arm, drawing the abs up. Paula, I don't know if you can go on your side if you wish, okay? So I've lost my ball. Keep going as we do another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and some little pulses there. Give you both some reminiscence of bar. We're not going for the burn, but we are going for a little bit of glute work this evening and abductor work here. Really nice. We're going to go over the other side. So I'm just going to swap over so that when I'm up, I can see you. So again, bring your forearms onto the floor into a diamond shape so that you got that lovely shape through your shoulders. Point the toe, keep your hips square with the mat, abs drawn in as we lift and lower. Lift and lower. Let's go. 4, another 7 and 6, 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Flex the foot, keep the leg up. We're gonna pulse. So our knee is up. We're at our end of range. We're squeezing our butt cheek and we're pulsing at that end of range for another 6, 5. Keep going, doing really well. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee down. Safely point that forearm forward. Come over onto the knee. You've got it. We've got to do our side lifts here. So let's go for another 7 and 6 and 5 and 4. Well done. 3, 2 and 1. Keep it lifted. I was going to do some little knee circles, but we're doing little pulses instead. And we've got this for another 6 and 5 and 4, 3, well done, 2, 1, great work. Bring the knee down, forearms in your diamond shape, toe pointed, abs drawn in, keep the shoulder blades gliding and relaxed in your back as we lift and lower. It's our last 10. As we do, another 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there. Flex the foot so we really get into that glute as we pulse. Pulse from the knee as you take it out from its end of range for another 7. Pulse, pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nearly there. Let's go to the side and lift and lower. It's nearly there. As we do 8 more and reach, draw the waist up from the underside there for 6 more leg lifts, and 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, end of range. Just some tiny pulses for another 7. Come on, just a few more pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee back to the floor. Take the ball away. Pop it somewhere safely. You don't need it for a little bit while yet. We're in our square on 4 points. Draw the abs in into a nice cat-cow. Really arch the back up. Doing some nice work this evening through the spine as we take the abs towards the mat in our cow. Draw the shoulder blades down our back and then back to neutral spine. We're going to walk the hands into the knees, draw the abs in, come into our kneeling position, and we're going to just do some stretches out through the hips. So we're going to take, I've got my right leg out in front, hips square on. I want us first to really press our hips forward, tucking our tailbone under, keeping the shoulders back, so we're really concentrating on a really delicious posture as well. And then take the leg, just walk that foot out a little bit further as we just slowly encourage a bit more stretch through that leg and forward. And you can carry on doing this, or you can take that leg forward to a comfortable position for you. It will depend on your flexibility. And you can hold it if you wish there. Keep that back beautifully straight. You can also take your hands to the inside of that leg for a deeper stretch. And if you're particularly fancying it this evening, and you can do it, of course, bring your elbows to the floor. So I've given you lots of different stretchy options there. You can keep going back and forth gently, just each time, slightly more stretching. You can hold that stretch in a dynamic stretch, and you can come forward. I want you, when you breathe in, to breathe into wherever you're feeling that stretch, and then breathe in all that used oxygen, that used air back out. Breathe in through the nose into where you're feeling that stretch, and back out a couple more times. Take the hands each side of the foot, push up, and come into a little runner stretch where you flex the front foot, draw your chest to the top of the thigh. Again, we're just going to not rush the stretch. We're going to hold it and breathe into it. Keep your chin up and the chest stretched, reaching over your thigh. Keep breathing. A couple more breaths there. Walk the hands in, draw the knee. Let's go on to the other side. So already starting some nice stretching there and getting a cheeky hamstring stretch at the same time. Push the hips forward. Make sure your hips are square with the front. Feel hopefully a bit of a stretch through your flexors. And then take the foot out a little bit further to what feels comfortable for you. And we come back to that kneeling and reach forward. Shoulder blades drawn together and abs drawn in. So stay lovely and strong through the torso as you reach forward and back. A couple more times. You can take that leg, that foot a little bit further forward, and you can hold that stretch. Now you can keep it in this nice static stretch here. You can take both hands, pop them to the inside of your leg, and just draw your body down a little bit. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible, you can bring your elbows a bit closer to the floor, or even onto the floor. See how you're feeling. Just breathing into the stretch. Don't ever force it. Taking that breath into the stretch and then a lovely breath out. Every time you feel that stretch relax off, go a little tiny bit deeper into it, working with the breath. Few more breaths. And then take the one hand on each side of the leg, keeping the leg there, straighten it, flex the foot. Keep the back nice and straight, take the thigh towards the front of the thigh, take your chest to the front of the thigh, and breathe. As you feel a lovely stretch through your hamstring this evening. Our hamstrings get very short when we sit a lot. Cyclists get really short hamstrings, so they need to keep them nice and stretched. Driving long distances or driving all the time keeps your hammies a bit tight. So it's nice to breathe into the stretch and give them a nice little stretch out this evening. A few more breaths. And we're going to come over to sit on our batons. And if you can, take your ball. I'm just going to have a quick little drink there. Forgot how drying it is teaching. Okay, so we're going to start with the ball in our hands, and we're going to sit on our sit bones, draw the abs in, shoulder blades together. I want to take the ball up, keeping the abdominals drawn in. I want to reach forward as if you're coming over that imaginary beach ball. See how far you can take that ball forward. If you can take it to your ankles, that's cool. Just hold it there, breathe, keep your breath. You may, if you've got super long arms like me, take them the other side of your feet. Wherever you are, just hold it there. You're not taking your chest onto your thighs, however. You're almost imagining you're coming over a beach ball. And this is our spine stretch. Breathe in, and we're going to come back up. Now we're going to do some roll downs, but I'm going to start the roll downs with the ball between our thighs. Now we've done a little flexor stretch, but squeezing on the ball when we roll, mainly when we come up, means we switch the flexors up, because sometimes when we feel our feet coming up, we are using our flexors, and actually that could end up painful for our flexors. So squeeze on the ball, abs drawn in. We're just going to roll down. So we've done a lot of spine roll down this evening. Now you can have your hands behind your thighs, okay? Or you can keep them out. Take your hands over your head, breathe in, breathe out, bring the arms over, and just slowly draw the abs in, slowly roll back up, no jerking up as you roll up and over. Now, you can, if you want, do this with your legs straight as well. So again, with your legs straight or bent, you pick. Breathe in, draw the abdominals into the spine. So you're curling onto your tailbone. We want the spine to curl because we want to land each vertebra one at a time as you come down. Now, what we're starting to do as well here is warm up the abdominals a little. How exciting a prospect is that? Bring the arms over. Draw the abs in, and I want you to roll up, not jerk up. We roll, 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 just bit by bit by bit. And come to the top, reach up, and if you want there, straighten the legs, come over into a spine stretch. So we've warmed up the abs a little there. Let's go a little bit deeper into the abs. I know you can't wait. We're going to pop the ball into the small of our back. So when we're sitting, we can already feel it. there are two options here. We'll do the first option and then we can move forward with another if you wish. So be nice, make sure you're nice and comfy there on your sit bones. Breathe in, and you've got your hands not gripping your flesh for dear life, but you've got your hands just underneath there. And we're going to come back onto the ball and up, down onto the ball. This time we're not going to come all the way up. So I want you to feel the pressure on the back, and we come up just halfway, down and up. Now, if you want, you can pop stretch your arms out front. So keep the abs drawn in, breathe out on the way up. Breathe in, breathe out. I'll come really sideways on so you can really see you coming down and then halfway up. Now, you can take it up a notch again by bringing the hands behind your head. So what you're doing here is putting a lot more weight at the top end of your body and putting the workload, a bit more workload through the abs. And we're going to do another 8 and 7 and 6. Keep the abs drawn in, no mounding through the abdominals. Keep the breath nice and even, chin away from your chest for another 3 and 2 and 1. And then you're going to just lift gently off the ball. So just as you feel the ball is starting to pump back up into its full shape, you hold it there and we pulse. Keep the abs drawn in as we pulse and pulse for another 10 and 9 and 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. We're going to draw up, pop our hands in front of our knees, press the body down in between through the knees for a nice stretch through the back and to ease off through the abs. If you need easing off, you may not need easing off. And if you don't, we're going to crank it up a little notch again. So this time, come back onto the ball, hands behind your head, or you can have your hands here and I'll show you the alternative there as well. Now we're going to draw in the abs. Is anyone feeling that? Yeah? So we're going to have our elbows out. We're going to lift one knee and down, lift one knee. I want you to come back feeling that pressure on the ball and up, on the ball and up, ball and up. If your hands are here, you can just draw your shoulder over your body. Let's go for another 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Really nice. Come up, press forward, take your ball. I pushed mine away there. Take your ball and we are going to now pop the ball. There's a few series there, but I'm conscious of time. So we're going to pop our ball there. So we're going to roll back until the ball is between our shoulder blades. This is not now an ab piece. This is where we're going to hold our hands to our ears, take our head back. We're basically stretching the shoulder blades over the ball, really encouraging and opening out in the top of the back. Take a few breaths there. We're going to come back up into a chest lift. Again, using a little bit of ab work, but it's really just to ease off and wrap our backs back around the ball and take a few breaths there. Really nice. I want you to come over onto your left side and take the ball. We're just going to do a couple more abs, and then I do want us to do a little bit of work on the front. So we're just going to pop the ball this evening. Now you can do this without the ball. If you've not done ab work for a while, we're just going to do some gradual lifts of the leg, okay? I'm going to start on the ball, but you can start not on the ball. And in fact, when I did this last night myself, I did a whole series of starting from the basics and then did it all over again on the ball. Okay, so make sure that your shoulder blades and the back of your head are really firm on the mat. You've got the ball on your hips there, abs drawn in. We're going to have our arms by the side first, and we're just going to lift one leg up and down. Now, if you've not been on the ball for a while, it's good to get us just used to the fact that this is going to be a bit destabilizing. And then you can bring one leg up and then the other, one leg down and the other leg down, up, up, down, down. Let's go again for 2 more of those. That's 1 and 2. And then we're going to take the arms across our chest. And we're going to lift one leg and lower. Or keep drawing the abs in as you're doing this. I want you to really feel your core, your deep abdominals. And then when you're ready, you can lift one, then the other, down and down. We're going to do that a couple more times. Down. Really, you're really using your abs here to stabilize. We get those lovely deep abdominals. Now this time when the legs are up, if you want to add on, we're going to take the arms up. We're going to go into single arm, single leg. But you can first off just do the leg if you wish, keeping the abs drawn in and keeping that concentration, that mind-body connection. And when you feel ready, you can take the arm behind as well. So we're doing some nice little single leg stretches on the ball, reaching away, remembering the elongation, abs drawn in, reaching out on the out breath, breathing in to come back. Now we're going to do another 8 and 7. Reach away. And 6 and 5. Now your leg doesn't have to come this low. You can go a little bit higher if it feels more comfortable. Work with how you feel this evening as we do another 1 on each side. Now we're going to do another set, but first we're going to bring our knees. Using that lovely height should get a really nice release in the hips. So bring the knees into our chest, and then we come back. We start as we did before with feet on the floor. We lift one leg up into tabletop, then the other, and then we bring our arms up, just checking we've got our lovely shoulders stabilized, abs drawn in, back of the head on the mat. Now we're going to do another 10. You can do 10 singles, okay? Or you can do 10 doubles. So see how you get on, and I'll counter. So you breathe in to prepare, abs drawn in. Breathe out for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 and 10. Well done. Bring the knees back once again, and then take one foot to the floor, then the other foot. Press up, take the ball nice and safely from the underside. We're going to turn over, because I don't want to run out of time, to at least do some work on our back extensions. We're going to start with a nice, easier one this evening, or a gentle one. I'm going to pop the ball right under your chest, okay? And your arms each side. And at first, I just want you to breathe into that. Press your hips into the floor, walk the legs out behind. We still want all the muscles in the bottom half of our body to be switched off. Draw the abdominals into the spine. And we're gonna just lift up. Now the ball, the air pressure in the ball should lift as we draw our shoulder blades down our back and come back down over the ball. Okay. So we lift on the out breath and then come back down on that in. Now you can add on here. You can breathe in, and on the out breath as you lift, bring your arms up. I want you to feel your shoulder blades pinching together, and then you reach the arms out, draw them back, and come back down. As you lift, reach forward, bring the elbows back into that lovely letter V shape and down. And we're going to do another 3 more. So you lift, draw the abs into the spine, breathe out and in. As you do each of your moves, you breathe in before to prepare, breathe out to come up, breathe in, breathe out to reach away, breathe in, come down. Do another one as I take a little look to see how you're getting on. Or you can just keep your hands on the floor. Don't feel you need to use. Really nice. And then take the ball from underneath your chest. We're just going to do 5, a little bit more extensions. Again, press your hips into the mat. Draw the muscles, draw your abs into your spine. All the muscles in the bottom half of your body are switched off. Breathe in. On the out breath, you draw the ball in and reach away. Breathe in, draw the ball in on the out breath and reach away. And just 3 more. As you reach up, go within your own range of movement. Keep it slow. As you peel up, and again, you come down gradually as you run up. And 1 more. Keep your eye line over the other side of your ball, so it's not, you're not lifting your head. And then keeping your head lifted here, draw the ball behind you, just above your bottoms. Hold on to the ball with both hands. You're looking down towards the mat. Breathe in, and on the out breath, I want you to draw your shoulder blades together and reach the ball down as if you're trying to place it between the 2 heels. Keep looking down, pressing the hips into the floor and drawing your abdominals into your spine to protect your lower back, and keep breathing. And we come back down. Keep the ball there and do that another 2 times. Breathe in on the out breath, reach the ball away. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. If you want, you can really point your toes away as well, so your legs slightly lift off the floor. Come back down. 1 more time. Breathe in, breathe out, reach away. Reach the legs away if you wish as well. Few breaths there. And come down. And then I want you to push away from the floor, sit on your heels, press your head on the ball as you reach the arms in front, and take a few breaths there. Okay, we're going to just come back over to close now. I've come to time. I'm conscious there. It's getting a little bit late. So I want you to come back on nice even hips. And we're just, you can pop the ball in between your thighs there. We're just going to do a little, 1 single little roll up to just ease out through the spine. I did have a whole glute piece here. Roll back down, 1 vertebra at a time. Let's do that 1 more time. Breathe in, draw the abs in. Start taking the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Lift 1 vertebra at a time. Reach the top. You can give the ball a little squeeze if you wish. It can engage through the glutes there. And then roll down, feeling each single vertebra 1 at a time. Take the arms out to the side. Drop the knees over to the left and the head over to the right. I'm very conscious I'm doing the exact opposite, but and then bring the knees through the middle and over the other side. Bring the knees up, take your ball. I want you to cross the left leg over the right. We're going to do an extra little bit of stretch through the hips as we drop the knees over to the right, turn the head to the left. Keeping the knees crossed, legs crossed, draw the knees over to the other side and the head over to the other side, the opposite side. Keep the breath there, and there'll be one side or the other where you'll feel maybe a little bit more the need to hold that stretch and breathe into it. Knees back up to the top, cross over the other way. So cross the right over and drop down over to the left, turning the head to the right hand. Taking a few breaths there, bring the knees up and over the other side. And take a few breaths there as you ease out through the hips. Bring the knees up and cross. Take the ball, pop it under your head, look up to the ceiling. Take a breath in, press down on the ball for a count of 6. Release and turn the head to one side. Come back to look at the ceiling. Press down on the ball one more time for a count of 6. Release the head and immediately turn the head to look the other way. Take the insides of your knees and let's roll up to sitting. Bring the feet together. Take the hands to the side. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Take a few breaths there. Take the head back up through the middle, left ear to left shoulder. And take a few, really feel the relax through the neck there. And back up through the middle. We're going to turn the palms up. Breathe in as you reach up and breathe out through the mouth as you bring the arms down. Let's go again. Take a big deep breath. Reach up and breathe out. And one more. Take a big deep breath in. Reach up, palms together. Bring the hands down on the out breath. Breathe in to the chest and breathe out again as we close our evening in a bit of a speed close. So take the breath back into the ribs and out through the mouth, and you are done. Thanks everyone. Thank you.